lot of walk-ins that didn't pre-register, and that's great. That's what we hoped for. Last minute today, I was able to bump the training class into a different section and able to open up the whole room. So this is the best turnout we've had for an info session. Very excited. My name is Bethany Kirkner. I'm the Director of Events at the Greater Reading Chamber Alliance. And I see some familiar faces. Starting out with, who traveled to Italy with me? Okay, bunch of people. We had a phenomenal time. We went to the Amalfi Coast 2 years ago with Central Holidays, which is now, I can never say it, Aventura World. Same company, new name. And this is our rep, Ben. I've been working with him for 3 years. Last year, we went to Costa del Sol, Spain. Who went to Spain? Also some people. So as you can see, I'd like to say that's because they had a wonderful time, great experience, and they're here again tonight to find out about this year's offering, well, I should say 2019's offering. I selected for us a Rhine River Cruise. One, because we wanted to switch to the fall, give some other members and non-members an opportunity who maybe can't travel in the spring, some accountants and teachers who just can't take off school in the spring. See if that opened up some opportunities for people. And also, I loved the fact that there was 4 countries in one, some phenomenal destinations, big cities and small cobblestone villages. So, if you have any questions, I think Ben, you're going to do a Q&A at the end? Or okay. So Ben has a presentation, we'll go through that, and then if you have any additional questions at the end, we'll be more than happy to answer it. Okay.
Great, thank you, Bethany. Welcome, everyone. My name is Ben Weintraub, and I'm with Aventura World. Thank you, everyone, for coming tonight to talk about one of the most popular riverboat cruises around right now, the Rhine River. Has anyone been on this cruise before or been on a riverboat cruise before? Okay, great. Well, for those of you who have not, this is a 5-star experience where it's an amazing vessel that you're going on. Lufner Cruises MS Amadeus 3, which is only a year and a half old. It's just actually completed its second season. So it's in ship regards, it's a very new ship, and the dining on the ship is absolutely 5-star. All of your meals are included on the ship, which is incredible. So you will definitely be overwhelmed with food. There's so much, and a lot of folks have not been on a riverboat cruise by a show of hands. So this is what ocean line cruising used to be. So I mean, it's just elegant. When I was on the ship, you don't even feel any type of waves, or we were eating dinner, and if the window wasn't open, I wouldn't have even known we were moving. So it's extremely smooth. It's a gorgeous ship. They really do a great job. You become friends with all the staff on the ship, which is just, you have the same waiters and waitresses, and they really help you out and go above and beyond for you. I actually have still friends on Facebook from the cruise that I was on. They're really just great folks. So we picked a fantastic time to go, leaving October 30th to the 7th of November of next year. And as you can see here, there's a tremendous amount of interest. We've actually already had people signing up even before the presentation here tonight. So as you can see here, it's definitely an interesting program to go on. So the weather, a lot of folks asked at the time, very much the same as here. So, you know, we call that perfect touring weather. It's not too hot, not too cold. And in all the cities that you're going to be going in, they're all open. They're not closed or out for the season or anything like that. But it's less crowded. You're not in the peak of things. So less wait times going into museums and what have you. Even on your own restaurants, things will be less crowded, but everything will still be open. It's a fantastic time of year to go and travel. So I'm going to give you a little visual explanation of the program itself, and then if we can hold any questions, I'll be able to answer anything else that anyone has as well after. But like I said, this is an opportunity to really unpack once on the cruise, and you're visiting 4 different countries on this, starting in Switzerland and working our way north up into France, seeing Strasbourg, getting into Germany, seeing Speyer, Heidelberg, Mannheim, and finishing off in Holland, doing Volendam and getting into Amsterdam, as well as offering a 2-night post-Amsterdam experience extension as well. So a little bit, if you haven't heard about Aventura World, we've actually been in business now since 1972, and our world headquarters is in Moonachie, New Jersey, which is about 10 minutes out of Manhattan. But we have offices in Paris, Rome, London, Delhi, and Cairo. And we're a travel wholesaler, so we contracted with the Rhine Cruise, and we've actually chartered the whole ship. So everyone on the ship will either be an Aventura World traveler or of our parent company, Central Holidays. So we're dedicated to revealing the treasures of the world, from the capitals of Europe and to Australia's Great Barrier Reef. And we're the official travel partner of the Association of Chamber of Commerce Executives. That's the national organization for chambers of commerce, and that's how we've been working with Bethany here at the Greater Reading Chamber Alliance for a number of years, and we've had a great partnership with them, and they've been on some great trips, and this will be no different. So we'll be traveling on the 5-star MV Silver 3 Rhine Cruises. Great cuisine, 5-star service, turn-down services at night with little chocolates on your pillows. Really nice experience. We'll be seeing magnificent buildings, such great structures, really great walking tours on the program, and you'll get little whisperers, so you'll be able to hear the tour guides when you're walking around. Very organized. Once you get off the ship, you're on a motor coach of 40 or so people, and you stay with that same guide throughout the tour. You go back for lunch, and then you go on to the afternoon tour. You come back for dinner, and you're usually free in the evenings, or it's cruising and there's entertainment and really great stuff going on the ship at night. So breathtaking scenery. You'll be going through some of the most spectacular parts of the Rhine, Lorelei Rock, some really gorgeous spots, medieval castles. There is an abundance of castles. You'll be seeing some great vantage points, some great experiences in Kokum, some wine tasting as well. That leads me to, as well as on the dinners at the on the cruise, wine and beer are unlimited as well. So you can definitely enjoy that. The traditions, going through just 4 different countries, learning about all the different traditions. And true relaxation. Just the ship itself is very tranquil, very relaxing. So day 1, we're going to be departing from Philadelphia. We'll be taking an overnight flight going over to Basel, Switzerland. So once we get into Basel, you will clear through customs, and once you clear through customs, you will meet your Aventura World tour guide representative. That'll be with you the entire length of the trip, as well as there's a cruise director on the trip as well, and their whole staff that takes great care of you. So many, many people on the trip that have you in great hands. So day 2 will arrive into Basel, and we'll get you checked right into the ship, and you'll be able to go and experience Basel, or just kind of relax. There's a 6-hour time difference. They're 6 hours ahead of East Coast time. You can get acclimated to the time difference, relax. You'll have a nice welcome dinner that evening on the ship, and they'll go over a safety demonstration, and we'll just give you an orientation and an introduction to the staff that evening. But the Amadeus 3 is the newest vessel in the Amadeus fleet. I've been on the Amadeus 2, which is a fantastic ship, and this is just as luxurious. They have 84 rooms on the ship, so 168 people. That's the maximum amount of people that can go on the trip, folks. So as you can see here, it's very nicely appointed with lounges, bars, the whole dining areas. They have tables for dinner of 4 and 6 people. They do have a few tables in the back for 8, if you would. But great service, like I said, turn-down service. You know, when you could have a sit-down lunch, or they have like a buffet lunch on a different deck, where they have like pastas and sandwiches and stuff, or they have a full sit-down lunch. The meals are just incredible, folks. I mean, you take a sip of water, they're refilling it. And in the evenings, for those of you who enjoy wine or beer, you take 1 or 2 sips, they're refilling you every 2 seconds. So I mean, it's just great service. And they have different cabin categories, folks. And you know, this is why Bethany wanted to have this information session so early, because we are holding space for the Reading Chamber, but cabin categories, folks, are really on a first-come, first-served basis. And there's only so many of each cabin category. So there's the sea cabin categories, which they're the lower deck cabin categories. Each room does have hair dryer, full shower, safe, 2 beds, desk, phone, TV as well, but it is a fixed window. There's cabins B and A. In cabin Bs, they do have the French balconies. What that means is there's a button on the side of the wall, and you just press it, and the whole window wall comes down. So it's not a walkout deck or anything, but the full window will come down. As well as A cabin categories are a little larger as well. So panorama window with French balcony, air conditioning, TV, satellite, shower, phone, as well as safe and hair dryers in the room. Surprisingly, when I was on there, the water pressure for the showers was excellent. The bathrooms, really nice, larger than I thought. I'm a pretty big guy, and I fit in there quite well. So, and then they have the Amadeus suites that they do offer that do have the safe as well as the deck feature as well that they do have here. So the bar area, this is a great congregating area before dinner. They always have a welcome kind of dinner drink before dinner where they give a kind of a history lesson on what town you're going to be visiting the next day, and there's always a welcome drink before dinner. And there's 2 kind of a dress-up meals on the ship, on the cruise. One is the welcome dinner for the gentlemen. You might want to bring 1 jacket with you. You don't necessarily need a tie, but you know, definitely I would bring a jacket or a nicer shirt. For the ladies, smarter casual type of wear. And then there's the Captain's Gala, which will be one evening as well, that you'd want to dress up a little bit more for. So, and like I said, the gourmet cuisine, each night you'll have menus made out for that evening. You'll have 3 or 4 different courses, different selections. If you don't like something, they do have alternatives. If you are gluten-free or vegan, vegetarian, they do have dietary restrictions that they can fulfill for you as well. So the first night, like I said, we'll have a welcome cocktail party and dinner on board. And we'll sail out of Basel that evening, going towards Strasbourg, France. We'll be heading north, like I said. So day 3, this is where we'll get into Strasbourg, the ancient capital of Alsace, one of Europe's most attractive cities. We'll do our city tour of Strasbourg, and it's actually, the whole town itself is an UNESCO World Heritage Site. So we'll stay in Place Square. And again, we'll do some of the walking tours. The coach gets you pretty close to these spots, and some of the spots you just get off, picture stops, a lot of the spots you go into. But the European Parliament, you'll see, we'll stop into Strasbourg Cathedral, where you'll go actually inside here. So the inside is gorgeous. The artwork and the architecture is incredible here. From there, this is where we'll get into the Little France section, like the UNESCO World Heritage Site, and just gorgeous, the buildings with the flowers, the little narrow cobblestone streets. It's gorgeous. Definitely bring good walking shoes with you. You don't need the high heels, things like that during these tours, anything like that. But just Strasbourg itself is just such a gorgeous city to go and walk around. You'll have plenty of free time. And the tours they're set up, they always start out, they show you where the meeting spot is first. Then they do the tour around the city, so you know where you want to go back to on your free time, and you know exactly where to meet the group when the free time is over. So in the afternoon, there's an optional tour to Alsace, and it's a vineyard area, just beautiful. And then we'll stop in the town of Aubernay as well. And then from there, you'll have dinner and we'll set sail towards Speyer from Strasbourg. We'll continue north on our journey. And day 4, this is where we'll arrive in Speyer. And after breakfast, we'll have a walking tour here. It's an optional walking tour of Speyer. And again, if you can just go walk around on your own if you want to or whatever. But you have free time, you could be on the ship, or you can take the optional walking tour. You'll see the Speyer Cathedral. And then from there on, later that afternoon after lunch, we'll sail on to Mannheim. And later that day, we'll have the tour of Mannheim and Heidelberg by coach. So we'll have a city tour of Heidelberg here. And you'll see the main square. And we'll stop at Heidelberg University. It's the oldest university in Germany. And you'll have some time here to walk around. We'll see the red sandstone castle and the old bridge. Here, a picture of the old bridge as well. And just you'll see statues and monuments around the whole city. And a Heidelberg Castle, the epitome of the German Romanticism. And we'll have time to walk around here. Just got to be careful, there's uneven ground, you have to just be careful where you're walking. This is the courtyard here of Heidelberg Castle as well. And then we'll stop, you'll see that's Holy Spirit Church. And you'll be able to go inside there as well. City Town Hall. The Zumritter, the famous hotel here. And then we'll sail out that evening after dinner towards Rudesheim. And as we continue north. So day 5, we'll go into Rudesheim, the old wine town. And we'll have a walking tour through here, through Rudesheim. And they have kind of like caricatures and story, kind of Hansel and Gretel type story tales all over the buildings there. If you want to buy a cuckoo clock, this is a good place to definitely buy a cuckoo clock. My parents, every time I call them, you hear it in the background. It's the gift that keeps on giving for years to come, folks. So, but you can go to the famous Drosselglass, and they have all sorts of stores. You can definitely do some damage. They have some great restaurants, and it's a fun area to go and visit. And we'll stop at Siegfried's Music Museum, and you'll have some time here. They'll take you through the artifacts and all the different instruments and what have you they have. And then later that day, this is where we'll set sail for Koblenz, Germany, continuing north. So we'll get into Koblenz, and from there we'll go to Koblenz Castle, and you'll have a really nice view of the whole river here. And there's an optional walking tour of Koblenz as well that you can take. If not, you can have free time and go off on your own and enjoy, but we'll see Koblenz Square. And we'll go right through the old town. And this is just a shot of the rivers here. And then later that day, we'll set sail for Kochum, Germany. And day 6, this is really one of the most beautiful stretches of the Rhine River. This is the 65-kilometer stretch of the Middle Rhine with its castles, historic towns, and vineyards. And you'll see the famous Lorelei Rock here. Really great. This is just some of the background that you'll have here. But it's just a gorgeous view to have. And the famous Lorelei Rock here. And then we'll arrive into Kochum, Germany. And we'll go up to Kochum Castle, as you can see here, so you can have a view all of downtown. You can see the whole city from the aerial view here. We'll do a whole walking tour of Kochum, starting with the historic city town center. And you'll go through Market Square. And you'll see here the city gate. And again, this is all right around one another, so it gives you opportunities to do a tour, ask a lot of questions to the guide, but you can go back to these spots on your free time. So after that, we'll go wine tasting. We'll go to a vineyard, we'll visit, and we'll have some wine tasting there at their tavern, and you'll try a number of different selections. And from there, we'll get back onto the ship, and we'll depart Kokum for Cologne. As we continue north, getting into Cologne on day 7, we'll do our city walking tour here, and we'll see the city walls gate, the town hall as well, through the old town. And we'll see Cologne Cathedral as well. So this afternoon, we're going to leave Cologne and we're going to sail towards Amsterdam, getting into our 4th country of Holland. And getting into Holland, we'll stop in Hoorn, Holland, and getting into Volendam. And you'll see the waterlands, you'll see tons of cows, you'll see windmills, you'll see really quaint little cottages. Some tulips, I mean, they're not going to be in full bloom, but it'll be very, very pretty. And we'll stop in the sailing fishing village of Volendam, and we'll have some time here. You can definitely buy some Dutch clothing. They have clogs. I have so many magnets of tulips on my refrigerator at home. But they have great cheeses there. For those of you who like pottery, they have Delft, one of the most famous potteries, which is incredible. But we're visiting a local dairy. You can buy great cheeses and some great milk products. I'll learn about cheese. And we'll take our scenic drive into Amsterdam. You'll pass by tons of windmills, just a really beautiful drive. We'll get into Amsterdam that evening, and you'll have a tour of Amsterdam. So many canals, such a gorgeous city. You'll see Dam Square and the Royal Palace, and everything centers around right there, Central Station. They have subways, but they're above ground trains that go throughout the city. More bikes all over the city. You have to just be aware of bicycles everywhere. There's not too many cars, but there are more bicycles than anything else over there. So you'll take a cruise throughout the city canals. It's really fun. They do have the Anne Frank House here, the Van Gogh Museum, windmills. Like I said, you can explore Amsterdam at night. They do have a vibrant nightlife in Amsterdam as well. So day 9, you would disembark the cruise ship, and we would take you back to the Amsterdam airport, and you would fly back to Philadelphia from there. The tour features round-trip airfare from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, 7 nights aboard the MS Amadeus III, all staterooms equipped with private bathroom, air conditioning, phone, color TV, safes, and hair dryers. All meals are included during the cruise, including buffet breakfasts, lunch, afternoon tea, dinner, and a midnight snack. It's not midnight, it's about 10:30 or so at night. And that includes the welcome cocktail reception, as well as the captain's gala dinner, as well as the welcome reception, daily entertainment on board featuring folklore performances, music performances, lectures, and themed dinners. One night, they'll tell you on the cruise, most likely they have a pirates evening, and they'll tell you where to get pirate stuff, and people dress up. You don't have to, but it's usually it's a fun evening. A lot of folks do it. All the staff will be dressed up. The sightseeing tour, fascinating historic towns going through Basel, Strasbourg, Speyer, Rudesheim, Mannheim, Koblenz, Kokum, Cologne, Hoorn, Amsterdam, and like I said, the optional tours as well. You will have a professional cruise director with you the entire length of the trip, as well as our Aventura World professional tour guide with you. All the baggage handling and the transfers are included. You can bring one bag that you check underneath the plane, a carry-on bag, as well as a purse or a book bag, as well as all the port taxes and fees are included as well. There are four different category types of cabin categories. For category C1 is $41.49. C4 is $37.49. Category C2, I'm going to go over all these as well after on how to sign up. But they go from $37.49 up to $5,049, and I'll get into each cabin category in a second. If you are going to register, we will be taking registrations this evening, as well as we will extend for 2 evenings for an additional 2 nights in Amsterdam, where you would be off the ship. You would be transferred to a hotel in Amsterdam, a 4-star centrally located hotel in Amsterdam, and that would include 2 nights of accommodations, 2 buffet breakfasts. You would have a sightseeing tour that would include the Van Gogh Museum, the Anne Frank House, and Fondle Park, and the tour guide, motor coach, and the baggage handling for $649. That would be an additional charge for the additional 2 days in Amsterdam. So if you did continue on day 9, instead of going to the airport, we would be transferred to the hotel in Amsterdam, but you would do your tour of the museum district. You would do the Van Gogh Museum, which is incredible to go and see. If you haven't done that, that's a really must in the city. And Anne Frank House, that is one of the most moving experiences that I've ever been to. And they actually, for those of you who have read the book, the bookcase, you see that you go up these little steps, and you know, it's incredible to look out the same window that she did, that you know, that she was just up there for that amount of time. It was just an incredible experience. But we'll go to Fondle Park as well. You'll have some time here. And day 10, you'll have a full day to enjoy the Dutch life, where you can go and explore by bicycle. Easy to get bicycles there, and they're very abundant. You'll see them all over the place, like I said. Bicycle mania. People, again, they take the closest bike there is over there. There's really, you know, people said their bikes are stolen so much they just take whatever's the closest. But you can travel, you can take additional boat cruises, you can visit the numerous city markets that they have there that are great. Of course, do some last minute shopping, like I said, Delft, pottery. You can get that stuff all shipped home as well. And they can do that for you. And the best way to do that is to charge it on your credit card. You'll get the best exchange rate and always finagle into the price, getting it shipped home for you as well. So then on day 11, you would depart back to the U.S., getting back into Philadelphia. There's no visas required. You will need a passport that will need 6 months left on it from November 7th. So you will need 6 months from November 7th. So if it's going to expire November 10th or something like that, you need an additional 6 months. You do not need a passport in order to register for the trip. We just do need a color copy of your passport before you do go on the trip. So at this point, I am going to speak about how to sign up this evening. If everyone can turn to the back page of your flyer, I'm going to go over the back of this for you, please. In order to sign up, and again, like I had said, Bethany wanted to do this presentation now, a year out, just to give everyone the biggest opportunity to get the cabin categories that they would want. Okay, I mean, we can usually get you on the trip. There's 168 spots on the ship, so I mean, there are people signing up. So we're doing this early so you can get the best selection. We would need a $500 deposit in order to hold your spot on this. And the final payment would be due July 30th, which is 90 days out from the departure date. So we would need a $500 deposit, and if you are going to take the insurance, which I'm going to get into in a second, and if you are going to take the optional tours of Amsterdam, as well as the 3 other optional tours. So we would need a $500 deposit that you can do by check, you can do by American Express, Visa, MasterCard, Discover, and we would need this information filled out either by paper on the back here, or you can do it online but we would need your name, your full name, how it's spelled on your passport, your date of birth, passport number, the country of issue, the expiration date, your billing address, city, zip, state, email address, home phone, business cell, if you're traveling as a single or a double. If you are traveling as a single, it is an additional $7.99 or $9.99 per person based on whichever cabin category you are signing up in. And each person, even if it's a husband and wife, we need a separate registration form per person, please. And then here you can get into the cabin categories. Can you please write down your first and your second choice? Folks, we take the registrations in the order it's received. So again, if you're serious and you must have a cabin category B4 and you want it, I would give your registration as quickly as possible to ensure that you get that. So please write down your first and second choice cabin category. And like I said, I'll start the C4 is $37.49 per person.
Can you explain where they're located on the ship when you're telling us?
Yeah, the C categories, that's on the lower level, and that is the least amount of rooms that they have of that C category. So there's the C4, $37.49, C2, $39.49, and C1, $41.49. And then on the next level starts the B categories. There's the B4, which is $41.49. That has a French balcony. That's the ones that the whole window comes down. B2, which is $42.49, as well as B1, which is $43.49.
And what's the difference between those three categories?
It's just where on the ship, on that deck where it's located. The B1s are closer towards the front of the ship, as the B2s and B1s are located further towards the back of the ship. So, and then
the sizes are all the same?
they are.
On that level, I mean.
They are, yes. In the B categories, they are the same. They do differ in size in A and S categories. So then you have the A categories, $45.49, and the A1, $46.49, and then the S2 category, $48.49, and S1, $5,049. And for our early bird special, I'm going to answer your questions in a minute. And for our early bird special, you are getting $200 off of the B, A, and S categories as well as an incentive. So, as well as 3 optional tours, you'll get $50 off, which is normally $189. You would be able to get them for $139 as well. So that would include, there's 3 optional walking tours on the trip. If you do want to take those, you would get those included and you'd be saving $50. And if you are taking those cabin categories of B, S, or A, you will be getting $200 off of those cabin categories. We do offer optional travel insurance that prevents against trip cancellation due to accident, sickness, or death of your immediate family, trip interruption, travel delay, missed connection, emergency medical evacuation, lost baggage and personal effects, and baggage delay. It's through a company called CSA Travel Insurance, and they do have a blurb here if you want to type that into your computer if you do have any questions regarding what the insurance covers. But the insurance premium is based on the total price of your trip. So if your cabin category falls under $4,000, it's $252. If your cabin category, if you're getting the largest, it would probably be between the $5,500 to $6,000. It would be $379. It's based on the total price of your trip, the insurance premium. That's what it would be. So again, you put down whichever cabin categories that you want. If you do have a more expensive cabin category, we would adjust your insurance accordingly to that. So we would need, like I said, the $500 initial deposit. If you do plan on taking the optional tour package, would be the $139. And if you are looking to do the Amsterdam optional extension, would be the $649 or $848 as a signal. as well. And the final payment would be due July 30th. You will get a confirmation email sent out to you stating how much money you put down, what is the balance left, and exactly the payment date when it is due as well. Before the trip goes, we will have another meeting, usually in the beginning or so, mid-October, and we'll go over everyone's documents before they leave, answer all their questions, go over the currency, answer anything and everything before the trip goes as well. For the airlines that we use all of the airlines out there. I do not know exactly what the flight schedule is. Our flight schedules will be finalized approximately 60 days out. We will have that schedule. If you're the type of person that wants to pick your seat, and if you want to upgrade and you want to be very much in control of your airline ticket, you can very much do your own air. If you can do your own airfare, I would recommend that you fly in a day before the trip starts. And if you are going to do your own airfare, you can take $700 off of the price of the trip. So you do have that option for your own air. Other than that, if you do want to upgrade on your airfare to business class, you can please put that when you are registering. Please just make a note of that, and Bethany will get that to us as well. If you do have any other friends or family that are traveling from any other cities in the country, we've had folks come from far reaching California, Nevada, wherever they are coming. We will fly them from their home gateway to either meet you in Philadelphia or meet you in Basel, Switzerland as well. So at this point, I'll open it up to any additional questions. Yes, ma'am.
I'm gonna cut to the chase. This cabin category, bottom line is a window is just a window that does not open.
In the C category, the C cabin categories, yes.
Okay, so the French balcony has a window that opens.
Correct.
And then the balcony has a balcony.
Correct.
Just say, why don't they say that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, is the flight direct, non-stop
We
flight?
we 100% try, we cannot guarantee.
Is there an airport in Basel?
Yes.
There
Yep,
is.
you fly into, we will fly into Basel. But from where, I do not, hopefully it's from Philly, I do not know. Yes, sir.
What are the extras, gratuities and things of that nature?
The only gratuities that you'll have on the trip are at the end of the trip, you will give a gratuity to the entire staff of the ship, and it's when you check out. What happens is when you check in, they'll take possession of your passport. They'll hold them for you. You will not need them on the trip.
No tip, no passport.
They tell you that it's for security purposes, but that is a good point, sir. But they do want to make sure that you do pay your bills at the end of the cruise for any incidentals or anything like that. But when you are on the cruise as well, you get room keys, and when you leave the cruise, you turn in your room key, and they give you like a business card that you have, and it has all the ship's information when you're out and about. So in case you do get lost, you'll have you could look, and it'll tell you exactly how to get back to the ship. So yes, ma'am.
What would be a reasonable gratuity after just like?
It's usually between $100 and $135
Per person.
per person. Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
What's
In the
weather
back.
like?
Oh, sorry.
What foreign currency would we need?
The euro. The euro is what they use, and you can exchange money when you are over there. The best way to do it is through your ATM debit card, through an ATM that you can do at the airport. They have banks all around, as well as you can exchange money on the ship itself. Yes, ma'am. Sir.
What's the weather like?
The weather is pretty much like here. Right now, the same. It's October 29th. You're leaving October 30th. Pretty much the same thing. It can be, in the 50s during the day, maybe get up to the 60s, maybe, but it'll drop down into the 40s in the evenings. Could be in the 40s in the morning. But it's good. It's good touring weather. It's not freezing. It's nice, brisk weather. Yes, ma'am.
Do these boats dock right at the city, or do you get off of the boat and they go on a bus to the city?
No, they dock in the cities. Now, I mean, there is walking, but it is central, I mean, in the cities, and sometimes you'll dock a few boats deep, so you'll be next to like a Viking cruise ship, and you walk right through them, and personally, I liked our ship a lot better than the Viking one when I went through it personally. But, yeah, you walk right through, and you're right in the middle of town, yes.
So in other words, like if you're have free time, you can get back to the boat anytime during the day.
Correct, correct. Yes, in the back.
That, cabin categories, Rhine River Special, is that cabin or per person?
It's per person.
What was that question?
It's $200 per person of a discount on the cabin categories B, S, and A. Yes, ma'am. We don't have triples on. Sorry, the rooms are not big. They're not equipped for a triple. Yes, ma'am.
I know you said beer and wine is included.
Yes.
Mike, you don't appreciate this.
That's
Is there a silver spirits package available, or is
There's not. I mean, it is. It's not. There's no package available, but it's very much available. They do have full bar, full everything. Yes, sir.
But the drinks are only at dinner.
The drinks are at dinner. I believe they do. They used to serve them at lunch as well, but definitely at dinner.
Bottled water, you need to procure
Bottled water. On the ship as well, there's a lounge that has 24-hour coffee, water. It's a whole big machine that has lattes, espressos, everything. And then a whole soda machine and drinks. They have that 24 hours and snacks laid out 24 hours. Yes, sir, in the back.
We're doing the excursions during the day. You want to have lunch in the city, but you said it's on the ship. We have the option to stay in the city to have lunch.
If we're not leaving and sailing, yes, you would need to coordinate that, just to make sure that we're not leaving.
Got a long way to walk.
Yes, ma'am.
If you're not taking the optional tours, what are your options if you don't take them?
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna be right in the towns itself.
You're on your own then.
Pretty much. I mean, you just have a guide, but I've walked around the towns myself, just.
And predominantly is the ship traveling at night, or will there some of
It's
that
both. It's both. Some of the times, as you saw, it's not that far from one spot to another. But in the night and the day, it's both. But you'll have a whole concrete, exact itinerary of exact times of port calls and what have you before the trip. And again, that can change too. Like, canals up. When I was there just one night, there was a lock messed up or whatever, and then we had to drive to Fallen Down instead of take the motor coach. But we were able to go through a different canal to get to Amsterdam. So.
And one last question.
Yeah.
If you have travel insurance with another entity,
Sure.
do you coordinate with that?
Yeah, that's the thing. You're not bound by this insurance. We're just offering an optional insurance. We just feel it's better to have something and not need it than to need it and not have it. So if you have a AAA or any other type of insurance, most of them are mostly the same these days. You can definitely take it. We just offer our optional insurance. Yes, sir, in the back.
Electrical outlets on the ship.
Electrical outlets, you need a converter, adapter. If you've been to Europe before, they look like this, the little adapter thing, converter. But you will need one of those on the ship.
Is it UK or is it European?
It's 220 volt.
No, I know that, but is it the plug adapter? Is it UK or is it European? Because there are two different thicknesses of terminals.
I'll look on the website.
Okay, fine. Okay, no problem. I'm not trying to stump the star.
No, I mean it fit any normal adapter converter.
Well, we just came back from Greece, and that's different than UK. UK has a separate adapter.
I'll find out for you, sir. Yes.
So we have the option of the insurance and the flight, if we want to do it privately, up until departure.
If you're going to take our insurance, we would need you to do the insurance at time of deposit. If you're going to do the flights on your own, you can let us know before that, but we would, you're giving a $500 deposit up until the 90 days. If you're not going to take the air, you got to let us know though.
Yeah, but that's 90 days.
Yes. Yep. Yes.
So we have to take the insurance.
Are there bikes on board?
There are only a few, like one or two, but in the spots that you can get them, especially in Amsterdam, they're very much available. But on the ship, our cruise director or anyone on the staff can get them for you if you're looking to do that, yes. Yes, sir.
It says Wi-Fi is optional. Is that expensive?
Wi-Fi, you know, it works on the ship. It's not the greatest, I'll be honest with you. It is an additional, I believe it's about $8 a day. You're better off almost on your cell phones. You could use it for an extra plan. Most people get it for like $8, $9 a day or 10, whatever it is, but you become like a hotspot and your Wi-Fi kicks in on that. I've heard it's much better. I just, you know, I used it on the ship. It worked for me. I called home once a day, so I mean, it worked for that. I did not use it for it, but there is Wi-Fi, yes. Yes.
Did you say the optional trips are $139 per optional trip?
No, it's $139 if you're signing up before March 30th of next year. It's $189 after that for the additional package of 3.
For all three.
For all three. For all three, yes.
You have up until March 30th.
And the only other gratuities that you'd have, you know, when you go on these walking tours, you're going to have different guides for just that city tour. So at the end of that, they're going to wave goodbye to you, and you give them €1 to €3. But other than that, it's one gratuity towards the ship staff that's payable at the end of the cruise.
And is that in cash?
It could be cash or credit card.
So you can put it on your account?
Yes, you can. And when you're on the ship, for those of you that want to get mixed drinks and things like that, you don't pay money then, you just write it to your room. And at the end of the cruise, that's when you're settling up with them. Yes, sir.
Just clarity, on that soft drink and water dispensing, is that free or is
Yeah.
that?
No, that's all free. It's
Oh, it is?
24
Okay,
hours,
good.
yeah.
That's good.
There's an overabundance of food, folks. I'm just telling you, you will be blown away with the amount of, it's great.
When
Yes,
we're on
sir.
a cruise, you gotta pay for orange juice.
No,
Separate.
no, sir. No, sir. Yes, sir.
Have the,
We had a drink package.
on the
like a
Rhine,
little booze on
have
it.
they
I couldn't get
ever
orange
had
juice.
any water level issues to the point where, you know, they couldn't go, we
Wanted to
just
find
had
somebody
friends that
two
run a
rooms.
Danube.
Right.
You know, that's different. The end of August, and a couple times there wasn't enough water to float the ship, so they had to take buses. But
Sometimes, that's what I was saying in Holland, that it could happen. It could happen, and in that case, there would be a motor coach, but you would still be back on the ship. We don't control that. We hope for the best on that, but has it happened in the past? With us, no. On other ships, I mean, and other times, yes. I mean, but again, it's knock on wood, not going to happen. Any other questions at all?
The early bird period extends to when?
It goes till March 30th of next year, so there's plenty of time on that, folks, but I'm just saying, you know, if you know, we're doing this a year out, just because if you want certain cabin categories, you know, everything, it's on a first come, first serve once we receive it. We are holding space for the chamber, but, you know, again, look how many people are here tonight, so, and plus people have been signing up as well, plus there are other chambers that are signed up on this that we're going to be doing presentations for. So, you know, again, if you do have an interest, please get your registration in, as well as you can go online. If you turn to the front and if you go to the bottom here, reservations can be made on our online booking engine and aventuraworld.com/booking, and the Reading Chamber has their own dedicated web page. You can enter in your credit card information. You can upload your passport as well. We will need a color copy of your passport. At some point we will. You do not need it in order to sign up for the trip, but we will need a copy of your passport, please.
And if you aren't able to do that, you can come to my office or here, and we do make color copies. You give it to me, and then I get it to Ben.
Yes, ma'am.
At the next reservation, it's first come, first served, so they fill in front of the boat back. In front of the boat, how much room is in the back.
It's whatever cabin category people select. And then there's just, room by room it goes in that category.
What is the most?
B categories, I mean, are your best bet.
Is that with the balcony?
Got B's and
They have the window
A
balcony.
They have
categories.
the windows that open.
Yeah, right,
That's in
B
the
category
Bs.
is the one that's open.
Yes, ma'am.
And have you been there in November?
Yeah.
How cold is it?
It's just like this. I mean, you're not going to be outside on the top deck in the evenings and stuff, after dinner and stuff, you're going to be inside. If not, if you're going to walk around in the town that you're in or whatever. But other than that, if the boat's moving, you're not going to be on the deck outside. It's going to be
And
windy.
daylight ends 4:30?
Later than that, it's pretty much the same sunset time here. It'll be around daylight savings time, so it'll be, between 5 and 6, closer to 6. Yes, ma'am.
I might have missed this. I know you were saying that there's a $200 discount.
It's already incorporated into the price there.
That's
After October, after March 29th, it's an additional $200 for those cabin
So we
categories.
have from now till the end
Yeah.
of March to figure out what we're doing.
Yes, but I'm just saying
Yeah, I
those
get
cabin
that.
categories,
I get that.
So this price is the discounted price?
Correct.
Okay. That's different.
Ben, if you could just touch on security for the ship.
Yes, security on the ship, folks. There's always someone up 24 hours a day. The doors are locked onto the ship. I've come back late at night to the ship. There's a bell that you ring, and then they open it up. They make sure that you have your room key as well. Plus, they know if you're not back on the ship by your room key, because you have to turn in that card in order to get your room key. So if you're not on the ship, they're going to know where you are, and they're going to start looking for you. But yeah, there's security on the ship, 24 hours a day. Things are locked. It's very safe. Never had an issue on the ship. Yes, ma'am.
Is there a casino on the trip?
There's casinos in towns, but not
Thank God they're not on the ship.
not on the ship. No.
But there is, Ben, you said there's a massage
Yes,
spa?
there is massage. They do have an exercise class that they do on the ship. They do have a salon on the ship. It's small scale things, but they do offer that as well on the ship. Yes, they do have laundry, pressing, and dry cleaning on the ship if you do need as well. But the housekeeping, they're really great. I mean, you get to know the whole staff. Really great folks. And these guys, I don't know if you watched the show on TV, Below Deck, very much kind of like the same thing. These people, they do a whole season together, so they work together the entire season. So they're, really friendly with one another. They know what they're doing, and, you're getting them pretty much toward the end of the season, so they've been doing it a bunch, and they're very much accustomed to what people are needing and do a great job. Yes, ma'am.
Can you explain what the optional tour package is again?
The optional tour package are 3 different tours. The walking tour of Spare, the walking tour of Koblenz, and the walking tour of
Oh, I see.
Alsace. Those are the 3 that would be included for $139 as the early bird special. That would normally be $189.
So they're the only tours that are offered.
Extra.
Oh, everything else is, all the other tours are included.
If you want to, with your airfare, if you're looking to fly into Basel a few days early, or fly out of Amsterdam a few days later, we can definitely extend or pre your ticket for sure. And we would get you the rates on that, and you would, okay that, and we would proceed from there. The same thing with business class. We would give you the rate for that upgrade, and you can proceed from there.
One thing I do want to point out, you had mentioned the whispers.
Yes.
So for the people that traveled before, you know what that is, but some people may
There are
not.
little headphones that are in your ears, so when the tour guide speaks, they're not having to scream, so I can, the person in the back can hear me, and, it's just little earphones to listen to the guide as you're going on the trip. And it's cool because they have these big sticks, and they have a big color from the color of your bus that you're going to be on. You'll always be able to see your guide. Yes, ma'am.
On the optional extensions, the double 649, single 849.
Yes.
Oh, thank you so much.
It's if two people in a room, it's $649. If it's just you in the room, it's $848. Yeah. Single room is really a double room, but you're staying in it on your own. So. But it's a very modern ship, folks. I was blown away just by the bathrooms were really nice, impeccably clean. Everything on the ship is just gorgeously clean. So they take a lot of pride in their work there. So if you go, please have confidence. It's a fantastic trip. And they do have seasick stuff if you need, but I'm telling you, I'm the guy. If I get on an ocean ship, for the first 5 minutes, I'm that guy. I got to take Dramamine, all that. I'm telling you, when I was on there, I rarely even knew that it was moving. At night and stuff, you don't even move in the bed or anything like that when it's moving. You don't even feel it. When the shades are closed, I didn't know if we were docked or moving. Good. Any other questions at all? Well, if anyone does have any additional questions, please turn in your registrations, and you can get in touch with Bethany here at the chamber, and she can put you in touch with me, and I can email or call you, whatever you would need. But hope to see you on the trip. And again, we'll have another get-together before the trip goes, and I'll go over everyone's documents and answer all questions before the trip goes. Yes, sir.
One last thing. Since we'd be flying out of Philadelphia, is there an option of bus service from here to Philadelphia, or is it on your own?
So what we've done in the past, last year we did offer, I arranged a bus service, and there was about half the group that took it, half the group that didn't. It somewhat becomes difficult because some people take the extension, some people don't. So once I get the registration forms in, something we can look into, but we did do that last year.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Uber,
Uber.
and that worked out great.
Well, thank you so much, everyone. I appreciate it, and hope to see you on the trip, and thank you for coming out this evening.
And just so everyone knows, I do not work out of this building. This is our training center. So if you have questions or you want to turn in your registration form, please call me and let me know. I could either let Kristen know, who works out of this office, to expect it, and then she'll get it to me, or I live near here, I'll swing by and get it. Or we can make plans to meet at my office, which is downtown at 606 Port Street. So please don't just stop by here expecting me to be here to answer your questions, because I'm very rarely here. But
you're no longer a second